Gravity hurts. Gravity hurts. Ah. Welcome in. My baby just fell into the crevices of the couch. Welcome, welcome. I'm just chilling out with my baby who's messing with the internet. I better take care of this. That's important. That's important. Don't do that. Oh. We respect the internet. Leave it nice and alone. Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Andy Schwartz, and I am a Christian, and I've gone live with my baby. Who's really cute. Cute baby. Wow, keeps asking me to ask people about their hobbies. Do you really want to talk about your hobbies? If you do, let me know what your hobbies are, and then you now will be satisfied. But I thought for today, I would just talk about being a Christian and being, just kind of rewind, fast forward to the point where I got saved, and that was in 1998. That was a long time ago now. Check this out. Come back here. Okay. Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi. Okay, so the year was 1998. This is near impossible to focus on a story when my baby's so cute. Look at that baby. Him. Cute baby. What a mess. Whoops. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whoops. All right, so in 1998, I had already gone through high school. High school had happened for me. Get distracted. There's something outside. Nothing's outside. Okay. And I was going through high school. And I was on drugs in high school. And just got sucked into that world. And of drugs and being a stoner in high school in the 90s. Probably 92. I went to drug treatment a couple times. But hello, welcome in. I'm just telling my story. about how I got saved. It's not easy because this baby's so cute. She's getting into everything. Your cheeks. Beat the cheeks. You're so sweet. Beat the cheeks. You're so sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yay! Oh, crazy legs. How's everybody doing today? Wave at people. Wave at. Wave, wave, wave. Couldn't see it. Now she's pointing. Okay, where was I? I was talking about how I was in high school and my parents sent me to treatment. God bless them. That's the solution, I guess. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't, especially if you're in high school and your friends are waiting for you when you get out of it. What? What do you want to say? Say it to everybody. What do you want to say? Oh, gosh. It's dangerous. So I ended up going to jail for about 5 months. Yeah. And when I was in jail, I opened up like an AA book and I went to AA meetings and something was breaking inside of my heart. I don't know what it was, but I can't explain it. And then I was in jail and I don't know, I just draw to pass the time in jail. And then that's when I was 19. I did so much stuff. Like I was stealing from gas stations, not like with a gun, armed robbery, but it was more like just running in, grabbing a case of beer and then running out. And I just became a habitual offender is what they called me. And it was right from when I was 18 to 19. So it went on my record forever. So that sucked. It really sucked to have that hanging over me. It's still hanging over me today. But then I got out of jail after I went through a month of halfway house. And then after that, I had to get a job. So I was working at this construction cement company. And the cement company was, people just coming out of prison would get a job there. And so I got a job there and they were really good for employment, but it was brutal work. And the people who were working there were very brutal. And I was still like swearing and stuff and like, but just not drinking I finally learned that lesson not to drink or do drugs or anything. I think I tripped on acid one last time after I got out of jail. But then, and it was weird. It was a weird trip. But then I just quit doing it. I just had enough of drugs and alcohol. And so then I had to go to AA meetings. It was like a part of my probation or whatever. So I was going to AA meetings and I ran into this guy named Mark Smith. And he told me there was this one time, sometimes like it's a cloudy day, but that one ray of sunshine comes through the clouds and then hits you. And today that's happening to you. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, weirdo. So anyway, he brought me to his apartment and he had this light, just a naked light bulb behind him. It was shining just this light into my face, right? And he was just sitting there telling me the book of John in the Bible, the New Testament, and just feeding it into my spirit, just the book of John, going through it and explaining it and talking about it. And as that was happening, I noticed that the light that was behind him started to get more and more bright, if you will. And like the light was getting more like touching me in my heart. And I froze. Am I still going? I have no idea. Is this working? It froze, so I'm not sure what's happening. Am I still going? I think it crashed. Crashed. I got a text message. Next thing I knew, it crashed. I don't know if it's still going or what. I don't know how to check that. Oh, yeah, I am still going. Okay, so where was I? I was, yeah, it keeps frozen. I'm just not going to look at it. I'm going to keep going with my story. So I was, I was sitting in his basement, and I had like long hair and a tie-dye shirt and stuff. And I was like 20 years old. I'm like 40 now. But so then I went outside to have a cigarette after about maybe like an hour of him just telling me the book of John. And so I went out and had a cigarette, and outside of his apartment was a car, and kind of the front car light was reflecting like light from whatever light source was, the street lights and stuff. And just the point of light on that car headlight was like touching my soul. I don't know how to explain that, but it was very bright, and it was like a warm, loving light that was touching my heart. It was like a caring, loving light. And I've been on acid trips, and you see a light on acid trips, but it's different. That's more of like just like a replica of what I was feeling, which I would consider the real thing at this point. Anyway, I was smoking my cigarette, looking down the street at all the street lights, and they were just exuding like this loving light coming out of the street lights. And it wasn't there like in real life, but I mean, in my heart, there was a light starting to shine in my heart. And when I looked at actual light, the light was just shining brighter, and just like in a very kind of trippy way. But I don't know if I'm even going here. I can't see my chat. I'm frozen there from like 5 minutes ago. The timestamp is just frozen. I'm not sure if this is happening, but I'll still go with my story. And all the way down the street, lights were exuding. There was obviously something going on inside of my heart. And then I started to slowly realize that the God and Jesus and everything that I had hated for so many years was real. And this Bible was real. So I went back inside, and he continued to just speak the word of God into my soul about the book of John and everything. And I just continued to see the light shining in my heart. It wasn't just because he had a light bulb that was very bright. It's just what was happening with the light was like God there just opening my eyes to what was going on in my heart, which was a light shining in it. So at that time, that got me hooked on the Bible. I was hooked on the Bible. I could not stop reading the Bible. I would be outside of this Mark guy's apartment, having a cigarette, and I had like a little Gideon Bible, and I just read that Bible. I would read it. I don't know if I'm live. I'm going to check on that. Just bear with me. I'm going to check it. I don't even know how to check it, but I'm going to use this iPad and check it here. Let's see if I'm going live here. Yeah, so whoa. Not quite sure what's going on here, but now I'm broadcasting from the iPad. And looks like no one's here, which they shouldn't be. But check out what happened to my phone. It's just frozen. I don't know if you can see that. Now I don't know what's going on now. I'm going to check on some things, and I'm going to start. Well, I'll just keep going. If you could see this, can you tell me what the last part of my story was? Because it like froze for me. Oh, the baby's trying to turn it. Oh no. Oh no, the baby. I won't let her touch the button that turns off the broadcast, so she's mad. Oh, baby.